One of the most aesthetic parts of a physique to many people is the shoulders. Having big shoulders can make you look much bigger than you actually are. And I would almost go as far to say that having big, disproportionate shoulders is going to give your physique a crazier look than any other body part. All of the best physiques you see online or in the movies, they all have big, wide shoulders. So when I first started seeing results in the gym, I quickly fell in love with training shoulders. And I can confidently say that my shoulders are probably my best body part on my physique. So let's get right into it. First things first, I need you to understand how often I was training my shoulders. And this actually might surprise some of you, but I don't have a specific day to train shoulders. So let me explain. For my chest workouts, I'll throw in a little bit of shoulders. And then at the end of my back workouts, I'll throw in a little bit of shoulders as well. You see, what might come as a surprise to some of you is that I don't have a specific day to train shoulders or a shoulder emphasis workout. So this is what my split is: chest and shoulders, back, traps, and rear delts, arms, and legs. So since I don't have any specific shoulder focused workout, I don't do any compound lifts for shoulders, which might seem contrary to popular belief because everyone knows compound movements are going to build the most amount of muscle. And I would agree for the most part. However, I've seen more shoulder growth by just doing isolation movements than I ever did when I was doing compound movements. And another reason why I don't do any compound movements for shoulders is because if you do compound movements for shoulders, it's going to mostly focus on your front delts, which are already getting hit when you're training chest or doing any sort of pressing movement. You see, most people have overdeveloped front delts and underdeveloped rear delts, which makes your shoulder look very disproportionate. So if you want to try to even out your shoulder, focus on your rear delts significantly more than your front delts. In my opinion, front raises are probably the most useless exercise. Having a proportionate front to rear delt ratio is going to give your shoulder that nice 3D look that we are all going for. So let's get right into the sets, reps, and exercises. So after my chest focused workouts, I'll do 4 sets, 10 to 15 reps of lateral raises. This is obviously going to focus on your side delts. So if you want to grow bolder shoulders, then you absolutely need to be doing lateral raises.
Place the dumbbell slightly in front of you and parallel to your legs. As you lift up, drive with your elbows and tilt your hands slightly as if you're pouring something out of a cup. Make sure to use a weight where you aren't swinging too much, otherwise that's going to bring in a lot of your traps, which isn't the muscle we are targeting here. After a few sets of lateral raises, my shoulders are on fire.
Next movement for side delts is going to be upright rows. This is an exercise I recently started doing again, and it's something I don't see a lot of people do for some reason. I prefer to get the easy bar attachment and hook it up to a cable and do this exercise like that, as opposed to just doing the free weights. I noticed that when I use the cable, it's much easier to keep the constant tension on the side delts. Make sure you don't go too heavy here, otherwise your traps are going to come into play more than you would like. Your traps are still going to work slightly, so that's why you'd need to make sure you're not using too heavy of a weight. I would do 3 to 4 sets, 10 to 15 reps. So my last exercise for my chest focused workouts is going to be a rear delt exercise. And my absolute favorite rear delt exercise is single arm reverse cable flies. So you might be asking yourself, why am I hitting rear delts on a chest day? Well, I pretty much already answered it earlier. Because when you're doing chest and doing a lot of pressing movements, that's going to hit your front delts a lot. And that's why a lot of people have overdeveloped front delts. So if you throw in a little bit of rear delts at the end of your chest workouts, it's going to make your shoulder look much more proportionate. This is the best way to balance out your shoulder growth, by implementing rear delts at the end of your push workouts. I'll do 4 sets, about 10 to 15 reps on each side. So now moving on to my shoulder training for my back focused workout. Pretty simple actually, it's just rear delts. But you might be asking yourself, so you're hitting rear delts 2 days in a row, isn't that overtraining? I used to think the same thing. However, rear delts are a really small muscle group and they can recover really quick. So you can hit them pretty frequently and not have to worry about overtraining. As long as you're not super sore and don't have a lot of fatigue built up in your rear delts from the previous workout, then in my opinion, you're good to go. So I personally don't think it's overtraining because I've been doing this for years and my rear delts are not slacking. So I throw in about 4 sets, 10 to 15 reps of reverse pec deck flies. And then another 4 sets, 10 to 15 reps of reverse cable flies again. A lot of people like to do face pulls for rear delts, but for me, I just don't really feel my rear delts activate that much. So I don't do that exercise too often. However, if you can really feel your rear delts activate when you're doing face pulls, by all means, keep doing it. I'm just telling you what I've done and what's worked for me in the past and what I'm going to continue to do moving forward.
So yeah, this is what I did to grow wide and round shoulders. So I definitely recommend you implement these exercises on a regular basis if you want to see some serious shoulder growth. Don't be afraid to hit your shoulders more frequently because they are generally a pretty small muscle group. It's all pretty simple. You don't need to overcomplicate things to grow your shoulders. So if you guys give these exercises a try, let me know how you like it.